Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be looking at a power station sent over from Allwei. So if you guys follow the channel or you guys have been doing your own research, kind of looking into power stations, you guys might have seen some of my videos. I've done a few different brand power stations, probably about 4 to 8 videos on different power stations, from smaller ones to larger ones. Today we're looking at Allwei's largest power station. They do have 3 other sizes available, from smaller units to mid-size up to this bigger unit here. So it kind of covers all price ranges as well as battery capacities that you could be looking for. So I'll have the Allwei website linked down in the description for you guys, as well as an Amazon link for the product as well, if you guys are interested. In this video, we're going to be going over the specs, features, and pricing of this unit. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer it for you guys. It is wintertime right now, so I don't have any planned camping trips. So normally I would probably take this out with me. I did run my powered fridge, or my portable fridge, on this unit. On a smaller power station, I can run it for about 3 days in a controlled environment, 2 days in hotter weather, sometimes a little bit over 3 days if it's nice and cool. With a larger unit like this, I can get around 8 days in a controlled climate, a little bit less if it's really hot out, I'm sure, and probably another day or so if it's nice and cool. So let's go ahead and dive into the details. I'll turn it on, show you what all the features are, and I really hope you guys enjoy. If you guys do, please make sure to smash that thumbs up, leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts, and as always, if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Let's get into this. So this is the Allwei PS2400, which, just like the title of the power station says, 2400, that is actually the size of the pure sine wave inverter that's built into this, that are going to operate your AC outlets here. That does have surge protection up to 4800 watts, so a pretty impressive little pure sine wave inverter. The battery capacity on this is 2048 watt hours, which is really impressive, especially for this size. I have other larger power stations of the same battery capacity, but both of them are probably 4 to 5 inches taller. So this one is actually really compact for a large power station. The other really cool thing about this power station, which a lot of the larger power stations do have this feature, but this one really impressed me. So a lot of the larger ones are expandable, so you can buy additional battery packs that you can link together to get a bigger battery capacity out of this. This one is expandable up to 10,240 watt hours, which is really impressive. You can run quite a bit of stuff for quite a while on a power station with that many expandable battery packs on it. This does have the LiFePO4 battery, which is a great battery, very safe battery, very long lifespan battery. And I'll try and throw up some pictures in here as well, kind of what it looks like inside. With the LiFePO battery, a lot of people claim between 3,000 and 3,500 life cycles, or cycles, before the life drops to, I believe, 70 or 80% of its original battery capacity. So it's still going to be good. It's got basically a 10-year lifespan. So with this, it does come packaged really nice in just a cardboard box. Everything is wrapped in, foam and all of that. It's organized really nicely. All your cords and manuals are going to be in a box for themselves. So you have kind of a user manual. The smaller one, this one kind of goes over the smart app, so you can download an app whether you have iPhone or Android, and you can control it from there. You can also keep an eye on battery percentages and things like that on the smart app. And then you also have the instruction manual, which kind of goes over the specifications and stuff of it. The other things included in the kit are going to be your XT60 to DC cord. This is going to be used for charging via the vehicle. Then you have your XT60 to MC4 cable. So the XT60 is over here with the yellow, and then the MC4, this is going to be your connections for your solar panels. And then the last cord that's included is the M25, which is, this is the main power cord for AC. This is primarily how I'll be charging it anytime I bring it home. And normally I'm just used to the 3-prong, I don't know the name of them, but this is The M25, a little bit different design here. And not only is the design different, but you also have this screw-on portion, so you plug it in and then you tighten it and it kind of pulls it into the power station. There are 4 ways to charge this device. You have AC charging, DC charging, solar charging, and then the 4th way is not all power stations are capable of this, but it does have dual charging. You can charge it via AC and solar at the same time, a max of 1500 watts AC and 500 watts solar, which is really nice. Definitely a good way to charge it if you're looking at charging it fast. With a power station of this size, with the inverter that it has, you're going to be able to run 99% of your appliances. So whether they're multiple small items or some larger items, it can do a lot. So, you know, small items like phones, tablets, cameras, laptops. You can run fans, fridges, space heaters, microwave, coffee maker, multiple different tools if you're, you know, maybe doing roadside assistance or, you know, something along those lines. While these larger power stations aren't super light like some of your smaller and mid-sized power stations, they're still far more versatile and mobile than a gas or diesel generator. The other pros are you have basically no noise, especially compared to a gas or a generator. You have no fumes and no need to carry around fuel. So those are definitely some pros on a power station. I get it, a power station is going to be a great replacement for a generator in all situations, but a lot of situations a power station can be fantastic compared to a generator. So let me just go ahead and power this on and go over some of the features that we see here on the front. So over here we have our power button. You have your Wi-Fi button, your charge button. This is going to allow you to select multiple different ways. Charge it, whether you're gonna charge it slow, normal, or quick. I'll show that to you guys in just 1 second. Over here, we actually have the button for the light. So let's go ahead and power this on real quick by just simply tapping. It's going to power on. Over here, you're going to see input, and then it'll show you the watts of what you're inputting if you're charging the device. Your battery percentage at 99%. The hours of operation. Down here it shows AC. The AC portion is turned on and it's running at 60 hertz. You can turn that off, it auto turns on. And then it also has like an eco mode and safety mode that if it doesn't see wattage being drawn from it for a certain amount of time, it will shut the device off. Now that the AC inverter is turned off, you saw that it went up to 99 hours. Because if you leave the AC inverter running, it is going to drain the battery. Over here you see the output, 0 watts. So as soon as you plug something in to any of these ports, you will see these numbers adjust as far as the percentage, the time remaining on the battery, as well as the output wattage. In order to connect to your phone, you turn your Bluetooth on your phone. Once you've downloaded the app, then you press and hold this Wi-Fi button. You'll get the Wi-Fi signal up here, and now it should connect to the device. One thing I will say is this thing's got one heck of a fan on it. When it is charging, I put it to quick charge. It kicks that fan up, and it sounds like almost like a bathroom vent fan being turned on. Over here with the light, this is a 3-watt light, which you have 3 settings and then an SOS. So you just simply tap for low, medium, high, and then SOS. There it is. This does have a UPS feature, so it is uninterrupted power supply. So if a storm hits and you're using this as a power backup, like I have my other power station right behind us that runs my fridge, my space heater, my computer, all of that. If the power goes out, it runs through that power station and it reacts fast enough to keep the computer on, allows me to save anything that I need to before shutting down the computer and using it for any appliances inside the house during a storm. And that has a 10 millisecond response. As far as the battery, when charging it, You can charge it from 0 to 80% in 45 minutes, which is really impressive, especially for this size of power station. Total, you have 11 ports, so we'll just quickly go over those. Over here on this side, you can see we have 2 USB-A ports. These are the QC 3.0s, so I believe those are 18 watts. Then you have 2 USB-Cs, but they're not both 100 watts, which I thought was a little weird. Normally when I see the USB-Cs, they tend to be 100 watts each. One is a 100 watt and the other one is a 27 watt, which is still good, I believe, for most of the laptops and things like that. I could be wrong, but that's still decent power to quick charge phones and everything like that. Over here you have your DC port. You got your standard DC port there with a nice little rubber cover over it. Then you have 2 5521 ports. I believe a lot of like CPAPs and certain chargers for devices use this. I think I have 1 or 2 items that may use them. Now, the one thing that I really like about this DC port, I really like these little machined metal buttons on here as well. They're really nice. They're not cheap plastic or anything like that. And they're nice and big. The thing I like about this DC port is this is rated at 12 amps. I could not run my diesel heater on any of my other power stations because they were only rated at a 10 amp max. Diesel heater normally hits, I believe, 12 amps. So I had to go out and buy an AC to DC converter and run my diesel heater from DC through an AC converter into the AC port and run it off of here just to get the diesel heater started. So I do like the fact that this has a higher amp rating on the DC port. Here you see 3 of your standard AC ports, and then these are rated at 20 amps. And then over here you have one. This is going to be a feature for those that may possibly use this in an RV or camper. And that's what this outlet is for, is supplying power to your RV or camper. So I think that's a really nice feature that a lot of other people don't include. I understand not a lot of people need it, but I like that Allwei included that on their largest power station. I don't believe it's on any of their others. This just makes sense on here, especially with the expandable battery capacity that you can add on this. Or if you have, you know, maybe a van that you've built or a bus that you've built. I know a lot of those builds, and something like that can be really handy to power everything. So I think that's really nice. I understand it's not for everyone, but it is nice to see that on some power stations. So over here you have a nice little rubber flap. If you just lift from the bottom, it's one big rubber flap. You lift up. Over here you have that M25, their power cord adapter port. Right here is actually a port for a ground. Any appliance that requires a ground, this is just a screw that you can loosen and actually use this portion to ground the appliance or product that you're trying to run. Some of them do require that, so that's kind of a neat feature to see on here. That's not something I've seen before. Here you have your XT60 for your DC or solar panel. This is where you would plug it in. Here's a CT485. Looks like an old telephone or Ethernet cable connection. I'm not sure exactly what you would use that for. You do have a fuse reset, so if any of those over voltage, over circuit, overheat, whatever, it'll trip this. You simply just press it and it'll reset. Over here you actually have a port for your add-on external batteries. So if you do buy the expandable battery packs, you link them through the ports here. And then it just simply pushes right back in the side. The other nice thing is this does support pass-through charging. So if you need to charge this unit while also using the power station, you can do so. Or more commonly, for like my use, I run my computer and fridge and everything off of this power station, but it's constantly plugged into the wall, so it's always charged just in case of an emergency. So it is nice. Not all power, most of them are, but not all are pass-through charging capable. It was 47 pounds. Now it could be my scale, but I threw it on the scale just to check, and it came in at 51 pounds. So now for a larger power station, that's not bad. I would say my small to mid-sized power stations come in around the mid-20s, and then my other large power station is just over 50 pounds as well. Same battery capacity, so same weight. Overall build quality, it is plastic. You do have metal buttons, but overall it's very solidly built. And I really like the grab handles on this one. This one's a little bit easier to carry than my other power station. It's also shorter. I just overall like the build dimensions and quality of this over my other power stations. Now, one thing that is actually pretty rare with a lot of power stations is a warranty. The nice thing about this is Allwei does supply a 5-year warranty on this. Now, getting into the pricing, this is actually priced much better than my other power station that is the exact same size and power capacity. So normally this is $1,500. They are running a sale right now where it is at $1,000 and $1,070. So it is on a huge discount. And I believe maybe we'll see even more discounts as we get closer to the holidays. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that is a fantastic price on this. I think my other larger power station that I picked up was $1,300 or $1,400 at the time, and that was on sale. I think it normally costs $1,900. But when you get into big power stations like this, that's roughly what you're going to be looking at. Is some of the no-name brand ones are at this cost. So I would rather buy from a company that I know is dedicated to the power station, business, and not just trying to sell as many products as possible. So I think this is really good design. I think it's very easy to understand, very easy to operate, has a lot of great features. Hopefully I covered everything. If I didn't, once again, please feel free to comment down below if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I'll also have this link down in the description for you guys with the Allwei website as well as the Amazon link. I am gonna quickly hook up a couple of items for you guys. Since I don't have any planned camping trips, I'm just gonna run my space heater off of it because heaters tend to use a lot of resistance, high wattage, so that's going to be a real test. Not a lot of power stations can run space heaters, even small ones, because they run at such high wattage. So we'll see if this can run it. But keep in mind, if you're running anything like a portable fridge, I have a couple items that run DC power, like my portable fridge. When doing that, do not use the AC cable, because then all you're doing is putting more work on the power station to convert it from AC to DC, since the fridge is DC. So just run the fridge to the DC, then you don't have to run the AC inverter, and it's going to allow the power station to run a lot longer. So let me go ahead and get a few things over here so we can plug them in and see how it does. And I really hope you guys enjoyed. So let's just go ahead, plug this guy in, click the AC button. It does state AC on. You can see the wattage is still 0. Go ahead and turn this on. I'll try not to blind you guys. So the light is on, and we are running 69 watts of output. It could run this light for 20 hours straight. So that's definitely pretty impressive. I think my smaller power station could run it for about 7 hours if I remember correctly. I've also ran multiple power tools on this actually, which I should have recorded. I was doing some bumper modifications the other day and some roof rack modifications. I was using my angle grinder and it performed flawlessly on there. So let's go ahead and plug in the shop vac. I'm not gonna run it for too long because it's late and my son is sleeping, but I'm selfish and I'm gonna do it anyways. So let's go ahead and turn it on. So it hit a max of 956 watts, I believe, and it was stating that it would run it for just under 2 hours straight. So that is actually the first time I've ran my shop vac on a power station, and I'm actually surprised the wattage is that high. I think that might actually be more than my air compressor, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but the real test are things like heaters, space heaters, griddles, or cookers that require a heating element that requires a lot of resistance, which increases the wattage necessary. And so normally items like this take quite a bit. Now I don't expect this thing to be able to run space heater for a terribly long time. So let's go ahead and see what the draw is. And this is going to be the highest setting of my space heater, which this thing is probably putting off a ton of heat over here. Probably just cooking my camera. So let me just go ahead and face that away. from the camera. Sorry you don't get a look at the space heater anymore, but I'd rather not fry my camera. So it was higher, but it's dropped and settled at 1400 watts. There, it just dropped a little bit lower, but it's basically going to run at 1400 watts on that higher setting, and it will run it for 1.1 hours. You can already see it draining the battery, and that is what heating elements will do. So they take a lot of power, but it will definitely run it, and run it no problem, because the internal pure sine wave inverter is rated at 2400 watts. And really, I don't have much that actually runs at 2400 watts. Maybe if I ran multiple items at one time. Overall, I think this is a great power station, especially for the cost. If you have already started researching power stations, you know the cost of your larger power stations, your smaller and mid-size. $1,000, just over $1,000 for this size, 2048 watt hour battery capacity and 2400 watt inverter with its features and everything, I think is a great price. And the other cool thing, if you guys saw in the clip while charging it, it does have a light indicator down here, so you can see that. Overall, I think it's a nice little build design. Got little rubber pads on the bottom, and it's actually nice and compact compared to my other larger power stations. So stay tuned, I'll have more content on it if you guys would like to see that. Other than that, the Allwei website, once again, is down in the description, as well as the Amazon link. And if you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts or any questions you may have. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.